most songs, you could argue, are relationship type songs. So this is embedded very much in our culture, this invisible string theory and red thread theory. And perhaps as a last word on that, it's also important to remember that we too could be at the end of someone else's. Perhaps we're destined to be met by someone else who's looking for us but doesn't know it. So
Yeah,
it goes in all directions, this. And really, to pick up on your point about the spirituality, and
yeah,
obviously it's a vast subject,
it is.
but I wonder why you think that, as I say, we could say the universe, we could say God, we don't really do religion on this, but
Mm,
if it's the universe, if it's providence, if it's the creative force, why
mm,
would there not be some destinies, some people who are absolutely meant to meet because they're going to do something great, something brilliant for humanity or for science, who knows what. And
mm,
for me, perhaps it's a romantic thought, but I like to think that there's something in control of when two people meet, there's a positive explosion of good, of love, and so on. So I rather like the idea of spirituality being very much a part of this. Would you not
mm.
see that at all?
No, I don't, because faith is in conflict with spirituality, and so is destiny. Um, you know, you're talking about spirituality is an ongoing concern. So it's something that is that needs you to work at constantly. It's not dormant spirituality, whereas faith is dormant, and so is destiny. So you don't have to do anything for something that is destined to happen to happen. Does that does that make a little bit of sense? So something is destined to happen, right? Say for instance, you sit at home and you was meant to meet, I don't know, Taylor Swift. You sat at home, right? It's not going to happen. With destiny tells you it's going to happen because somehow Taylor Swift is going to come to where you live and coincidentally knock on your door and go, right, is there a Trevor here? He's a very good singer, you know, and I just need to speak to him. So that's where I have a problem with
Yeah.
destiny and fate.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I take your point. The only thing I would say is, yes, of course, words without actions can be meaningless. But that what you're saying, I think, suggests that the destiny is something that someone wants to happen. They really want to meet Taylor Swift, or they want to do a specific thing, and expect it to fall into their lap. And I totally agree with you. That is not likely to happen. I think these theories, though, the red thread and the invisible string, are more about what the universe, if you like, knowing what's best. If we assume the creative force knows what's best, ultimately, if the universe wants it to happen, wants people to meet, then irrespective, this is the point, irrespective of what those people do or don't do, they will meet. And the apparent coincidences will be part of what happens to cross those people's paths. One of the songs I've just written for my next cross those people's paths. One of the songs I've just written for my next offering for Deepstuff Radio is called
Yeah.
Crossing Paths.
Wow.
And it's about how things strangely do happen,
Yeah.
which makes people cross paths, and those things can have a massive impact on their life, can't they? So I actually saw, because coincidences seem to be a feature of invisible string and red theory, that somehow these things happen, irrespective of what we want to do, to make sure these two people become connected and finally find their way to each other. And I'm reading a book at the moment, and there was a very good quote, or a quote I saw the other day, not a quote, a thought the author wrote in there. And that was this: it was, coincidence is God's way of staying anonymous. And
Wow.
I actually thought, I thought that was very good, actually.
Ah.
Um, because we do tend to think, well, coincidences, they do happen, and I guess they do happen. But it's
Mm.
quite a nice thought that these strange things can happen for a reason, and that
Mm.
maybe there is a force behind that.
Mm.
Anyway, these two parts, these two things, these theories, Cuz, are very much, as I say, under the banner of this thing we call love. And so we move it on a little bit now to, this thing we call love. It's kind of an experience for people who've experienced falling in love. It messes with your mind, your body, all sorts of things happen. It's a bit like an illness, isn't it? A positive illness where maybe you can't sleep properly, you daydream, all these sort of things come into it. And I guess, and you mentioned Taylor Swift again. I think where famous people are concerned,
Yeah.
it's very easy, isn't it, for anybody, particularly maybe youngsters, teenagers, particularly, or older people. We think we know these celebrities, whether they're a singer, an actor, an actress,
Mm.
politician. I don't think we'd fall in love with politicians very easily from a distance, but if we think we know these people, these famous people, and I guess sometimes some fans can become a bit obsessive about it. Oh, I love that person, I love that singer, and so on. And I guess that's what we would call infatuation. Now, what do you understand by infatuation?
Well, infatuations, a sort of likening or affection that isn't real. So you can
Right.
be drawn to somebody. You think that you genuinely love them or like their company, but in fact you are just, you know, perhaps just liking the idea of them. That's how
Very
I would
good. Yeah.